Attention, class of 2015. You may have to be at least 75 years old before you can retire. A new NerdWallet study finding that rising student debt, high rent, and poor investment strategies, all to blame. The study suggests that millennials should live at home until at least they are 25 years of age and then invest more aggressively, which I'm sure is music to the ears of all the parents, Maria, that are watching the show today.
Stay home, live at home. Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. Joining the conversation right now, Dagen McDowell. I'm sure you have an opinion on that one, Dagen.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me look at this. Why is working until you're 75 bad? You should be.
That's right. I agree.
You should be in a job because you're the child of business owners. I'm the child of business owners. My parents had to retire because they were basically put out of business. But what's wrong? If you're supposed to get a job and be in a career that you love and you're passionate about. If you're working until you're 75, particularly as our life expectancy continues to go up.
And as soon as you stop working, it's sort of a really quickening pace downward.
Well, some people,
because you don't have the productivity,
aren't healthy till they're healthy at that age. I mean,
well, that's different.
That can be a really big issue. If you have to work till you're 75.
But if you live until, if we're going to wind up living until we're 100.
Yeah.
I don't want. I mean, that's still a pretty decent retirement if you're retired from 75 to 100.
That's a really appealing point of view. That hopefully we're all in jobs that we love. A lot of people aren't.
Or do something else. You don't have to have the same job for 50 years.
But I think of this notion that we are going to have to work until we're 75 isn't the real issue at all. We are not saving enough. We never have saved enough as a population.
Everyone's here talking as a collective we. The class of 2015.
But this goes across the population. If you look at the number of people with retirement accounts and what they have in it, we have not, as a society, emphasized enough.
Well, I'm a big saver individually. I'm just saying. I mean, there are classic sort of demographics that you could look at. I mean, the millennials may not be saving. I think you should start saving in your 401k the second you get a job.
John, I think it sounds like you're putting. I mean, with all due respect, you're putting the burden on this collective we're not saving enough. Well, it's been a tough economy to save money when all your money is going to your groceries, your gas.
Way before the financial crisis.
The death of the pension system in this country has contributed to it because people did not pick up their own savings. If you save 10% now, by the way, I want to point out, we talked about on this show, great story in the Wall Street Journal about more employers taking more out in contributions to the 401k plan. Trying to protect the employees.
The reason why the class of 2015 has to work till they're 75 is because there's going to be zero Social Security left. Right. They can't rely on Social Security. And so saying to live with your parents till you're 25, I mean, this is an important lesson. If they start saving and the compound interest of their savings early on will help carry them and they can retire before 75. But can't rely on Social Security.
You can say that of Gen X, you can say that of Gen Y, you can say that of the baby boomers. Nobody saved enough money for retirement.
Find somebody old who's real rich and
how much is enough? How much is enough for saving for retirement?
A lot more than people are saving now. You'd have to go back to the early 1880s to see a 10% savings rate in the United States. That's crazy.
Well, we're also in a low-growth environment, so you actually need to save a lot more because do you think we're going to have years where the market is going to expand and return 10, 15, 20% a year? No, we're going to have below 10% years returns. I mean, the economy is slowing down worldwide. I mean, it's important to start thinking about this now.
The best retirement advice I can give to somebody today is move to an area that has decent weather, that's cheap in terms of the cost of living, and great access to health care. And I can think of no greater place than like Nashville or Memphis.
Phoenix, Arizona.
By the way, what's wrong with living to your parents? You're 25. I did it. I loved it.
Come on.
I did it. I loved it.
I'm going to have you call my father
my
because he had his foot on my butt. I moved back home for literally 2 months.
And he wanted you out.
Between Colorado and New York City. And he had his, like, he would lock the door when I would go to the grocery store.
And did you have to pay rent or were you free of charge in your parents' house?
I was free of charge.
I think it'd be tough if you're a guy living at home with your parents trying to court a female.
I guess so.
Are you kidding? You get the basement and you have a separate entrance.
Oh my gosh, I turned 17 and I ran to college. Like, I was gone.
That was it, huh? All right.
I mean, I love still going home.
Yeah, when did you move back to your
parents' house?
Spread your wings and fly, millennials.
Right out of college.
Right out of college?
Yeah.
Okay.
I left home at 15.
15? Wow. You too?
Yeah,
wow.
Never turned back.
So I really am the minority.
This is so sweet to hear, and I bet your parents loved it.
They did, and I loved it too. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Thank you, Dagen.